Okay, thank you very much for joining to one of our sessions of English 6. So last time, I guess we were reviewing the future perfect. And do you still remember how can we build the future perfect? How can we build the future perfect? Does anyone remember that?
No.
No? Okay. We don't remember how to build the future perfect. But do we know what does the future perfect express? To remember, what does the future perfect express? It's okay if we say no. And I guess it is a no. Oh, we have two chats. It is will have. Yes, it is will have. It is the one that it's built with the auxiliary have as well as with the will, right? Will because of the future and have because of the perfect. And we have already said that all the perfect tenses, todos los tenses que sean perfect must have the auxiliary have, right? If it's present perfect, we need to use the auxiliary have. If it's the past perfect, we will need to use the auxiliary have in past, which is have. And if it's the future perfect, will be the auxiliary have in present, right? So it is correct, Danny. We have to use the will plus the have. And what does the future perfect express? ¿Qué expresa el future perfect? ¿O cuándo lo voy a utilizar? When am I going to use it? No? Okay. The future perfect express the past of the future. Okay. It will express some activities or some actions that will take place before a future action. Okay. So let's say that we have this, this line, which is a timeline, right? So we're here in the now. Okay, this is the word now. Okay, this is the now. And this is in 5 years. This is in 5 years. So this is the future. Okay, but all of the actions that will take place before this future, let's say this is the future, and all of the actions that will take place before this future will go, or we'll have to express it in future perfect. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, es por eso que digo que el future perfect es el pasado del futuro. Okay, antes de que suceda esta acción, okay, puede ser que tengamos que realizar estas otras acciones. Okay, entonces estas acciones son el future perfect, ¿no? Vamos a decir, cuando me gradúe, yo habré estudiado matemáticas, yo habré estudiado inglés, yo habré estudiado informática, yo habré estudiado programación, yo habré estudiado, etcétera, etcétera, right? So this is how we translate the future perfect into Spanish, right? By the time I graduate, or by the time I will be graduate, I will have studied maths, I will have passed the exam, I will have, or I am going to have to pass the exam, etc. Right? So this is the future perfect. It is like the past of the future. Or saying in other words, could be the previous actions that will take place before the future. Okay, so that's the future perfect. Now, what about the future perfect continuous, which is going to be today's topic? Okay, so future perfect continuous, it is, or we use the future perfect continuous to show that something is going to continue until another action or time in the future. So it is very similar to the future perfect, okay? The difference between the future perfect and the future perfect continuous is that, okay, again, this is the now, this is in 5 years, okay? So all of the actions that will take place before this will have to go in future perfect, right? But what about if that action will still continue to be until it gets to complete, okay? ¿Qué pasa si esta acción continúa realizándose durante todo este tiempo hasta que una acción la detenga o hasta que lleguen los 5 años? So that would be the future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous is a way to show cause and effect in the future. For example, Jessica's English will be perfect when she moves to England next year, okay? As she will have been studying for 5 years, okay? As she will be studying for 5 years. Porque ella habrá estado estudiando por 5 años, ¿ok? Entonces, durante todos estos 5 años, si te fijas, ella estuvo estudiando todo este tiempo inglés, right? I like to show the continuous, me gusta mostrar como de manera gráfica o visual el tense continue, así como en movimiento, ¿no? Porque se continúa, siento que es como una manera de decir que está dinámico, ¿no? Instead of, en lugar de ponerle como una línea que sucede en that's it, right? So this is going to be the future perfect como sucesos en el pasado, en el futuro, okay, antes de los 5 años. Sin embargo, el futuro perfecto continuo es la línea naranja que si te fijas está como en constante movimiento, right? So that's the future perfect continuous. So we have here the present perfect, the future perfect and the future perfect continuous. Jessica's English will be perfect when she moves to England next year. El inglés de Jessica va a ser perfecto cuando ella se mude a Inglaterra el próximo año, as she have been studying for 5 years. Okay? Porque ella lo ha estado estudiando, okay, o lo habrá estado estudiando, perdón, lo habrá estado estudiando por 5 años. O sea, cuando llegue aquí el futuro, que es el next year, ya habrán pasado 5 años en los que Jessica estuvo estudiando. ¿Ok? Entonces, ese es como un futuro perfecto. Ella habrá estado haciendo, ella habrá estado comiendo, etc. Right? So, let me move this. Another example, it is, I'm not worried about the marathon as I will have been running 20 kilometers a day for several weeks before. Okay, so by the time I run the marathon, I will have been running. Okay, so in order to build the future perfect, we have to use the will, of course. Let me change the color. The have, the auxiliary have, and the verb to be, okay, I'm sorry, the verb being, okay, in past participle, plus the main verb, let me change the color, the main verb in ing, right? Entonces vamos a tener tres elementos más el main verb, ok. Vamos a tener el will, que nos va a dar el futuro, vamos a tener el have, que nos va a dar el perfecto, vamos a tener el verbo be en past participle, been, y el main verb in ing. Okay, entonces, by the time when I will run the marathon, I will have been running 20 kilometers a day. Okay, so that's the future perfect. That's the future perfect continuous. It is a time that express or an action that is expressing expresses, I'm sorry, uh, as a continued action until another time takes place. Okay, hasta que algo más suceda, esa acción no va a dejar de ocurrir. Okay, but of course it will take place in the future. Questions about the future perfect? Seems to be easy. Seems to be confusing. What do you think? Are you awake? Are you doing something else? Are you worried about your exams? What is happening? Why are you so quiet? Am I on mute? No, I'm not on mute. So what do you think? What's happening in your minds? Are you paying attention? You are not. You are doing some extra homework. What is happening?
No, not pay attention.
No? Okay. So can we continue? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Let's continue. Affirmative sentences. Okay. How can we build an affirmative sentence? It will take the will plus the have plus the being and the verb in ing. An example, Francis will have been living in Italy for 5 years by the time he finishes his studies. Okay. So Francis, he's right now living in Italy. Okay. And by the time he finished his major, that will be 4 years. Okay, so this is the now, this is the now, okay, and he's living in Italy, and by the time he finish his studies, it would have been, habrán pasado, ya, desde antes, y habrá pasado 4 years living in Italy. ¿No? Habrá pasado viviendo 4 años en Italia. So that's how can we express the future perfect continuous. Another example is we are going to have been working for 25 hours by the time we finish this project. Okay, so future perfect express an action that it's currently happening, and by the time another action stops this action, okay, it will be over. Okay, by the time another action takes place, this action will be over. Okay, para cuando una acción suceda, esta acción está como currently happen, como así en una ondita, se va a terminar. Okay, so that's the future perfect. We are going to have been working for 24 hours by the time we finish this project. Okay, so that's a future perfect. Negative sentences. It is pretty simple. We just have to add the not, right? So I will not, or Francis won't have been living in Italy for 4 years by the time he finishes his studies, right? So it's pretty easy. We are not going to have been working for 25 hours by the time we finish this project. Negative sentence, we just have to add the negative word as not or the contraction. Okay. Interrogative sentences, we already know that the auxiliary will has to go at the beginning, right? And then we can continue with the sentence, okay? So Francis have been living in Italy for 4 years by the time he finishes his studies? Yes, no, I don't know, right? Or if we would like to use the future with going to, we use the auxiliary or the verb be. Are you going to have been working for a long time when you finish this project? Right? So we have the very same structure as an affirmative or as an interrogative simple sentence, right? The only thing that changed is that we have to use the have, the been, and the main verb with the ing ending. So all of the continuous time, all of the continuous tenses are, I think, pretty simple to understand, especially because we don't have to change to a past participle tense. So we just add the ing in all of the verbs, and that's it, right? So those are pretty simple. So let's see if we got the idea. Let's try to solve this. And I think, yeah, we don't have the answers here. So let's try to solve this. Let's try to solve these 8 exercises or 8 sentences. First one, right? I mean, the instructions are write the correct form of the verb in parentheses. Okay, so do we have some victims? Should we take some victims, or is any volunteer to solve the first one?
Yo puedo decir la primera, si gusta.
Okay, go ahead, Paul.
The next year we will have been living in Chicago for 10 years.
Excellent, awesome, very good. Let me react.
Can I say the second?
I'm sorry?
Can I say the second?
Yes, you may.
George will be no will have student.
Again,
Will
George.
have been student. Sorry.
Studying, very good, with ing at the end, right? Very good, excellent, Alan. Number 3. Who's for number 3? Volunteer.
Me, teacher.
Excellent, Manuel.
How long are they going have been working when the factory closes?
Excellent. How long are they what did you say? Are they going to be working? Are they going to be working when the factory, let me change it, closes? Very good. Number 4. Volunteer. What about you, Danny?
In another 5 minutes, we will waiting.
In another 5 minutes, we will what?
Will be have been waiting.
Excellent. Next one, number 5. This June, we volunteer. What about you, Erika? Because Danny no me pela.
June we will have been paying the mortgage for 20 years.
Very good. And what's the meaning of mortgage?
I don't know.
Does anyone know what mortgage is? No, mortgage, it's the payment that you make for your house. Okay, when you ask for money to the bank to buy a house, you get a mortgage credit. Okay, so if you recall, not sure, you might be too young to recall this, but going back to 2008, there was an economic crisis in the United States due to the mortgage, okay, due to the mortgages. Most of the people, most of the population of United States were with some credits, with some mortgage credits that weren't able to be paid, okay? So that causes an economic crisis back in 2008, ¿no? Fue como la crisis económica de las hipotecas, right? So mortgage is hipoteca, okay? Okay, let's continue. Number 6. Who would like to answer the number 6? He what?
He will
Six,
be
teacher?
uh,
No, sorry.
Alberto,
Sorry.
Alberto, you do it, Alberto.
he will be playing football for 19 minutes when the game is finished.
Very good. He will have been playing football for 90 minutes when the game finishes. Very good. Number 7. It's a question, so we have to start with an auxiliary or the verb to be. No,
Can I say the 7?
yes, you can.
Okay. Se fue. Era. Are you going to have you been studying?
Very good. Are you going to, are you going to have been studying long when we met this afternoon? Very good. And number 8, oh, it is son 9. Okay, number 8. Next Saturday, they next Saturday, what? They have been. Oh no, they will have been what?
Me, teacher.
Yes, okay. Go ahead, Manuel.
Next Saturday, they will have been dating for 1 year.
Very good. Excellent. And number 9, the one that has no number. That's a negative one. That shouldn't be difficult. Are you tired? ¿Están cansados o qué?
No,
Are you bored?
no.
No. You just don't feel like participating. Okay, Jim will not have been learning English long when he goes to England. Okay, very good. And write the words in the correct sentence. Let's do just 5 because you are not like in the mood of participating. So let's do just the first 5. So who's the volunteer to write or say the words in the correct order?
July is a month or a name?
I'm sorry?
This July is a name or the month?
It is a month.
Okay.
So who's for the first one?
Maybe teacher, I will have been working in Julie for 10 years.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I will have been working in Julie for 10 years.
Very good, could be. Or also you can start with in July, I will have been working for 10 years, right? Both of them are correct. Okay, good, excellent. Number 2. We have a chat, we have a chat.
They won't.
Uh-huh.
They won't have been waiting long. What is that?
Very good, excellent. It is exactly the same sentence that Alberto said. So perfect,
Okay.
excellent. Excellent. Number 3. Number 3.
She will have. She will have. She will have been taking care of the kids for 14 hours, I think is.
Very good, excellent. She will have been taking care of the kids for 14 hours. Excellent, very good. Number 4. Number 4. No, number 4, it's incomplete. Actually, I think number 4, it's part of the number 3. Yeah, I think it's part of number 3. Solo que como que se hizo ahí un enter de más. So number 5, because number 3 should be, she will be taking care of the kids for 14 hours by the time or, oh, okay. Hmm. By, I think number 4, it's incomplete. Okay, number 4, it's incomplete. So let's skip it and let's go for number 5.
We have been no, we will have been uh, living here in 25 years. Maybe, I think. No?
The future perfect continuous was okay, but the complement, but yes, you started correct. Empezaste bien. We will have been living here for 25 years in 2020, right? Or we will have been living here in 2020 for 25 years. Okay, very good. So, okay, let's try to do the number 6, just to cover another one, just to cover 5 sentences. Number 6. It is a question, so we'll have to start with the will, right? So will, what do you think? With what?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay, another clue. Number one, it's will. Number two, it's, let's say you, this you. Will you, what?
Have been studying.
Very good. La parte más difícil ya está. Okay. Will you have been studying? Let me say number 6, a lot. 7,
When you take the exam.
Very good, excellent. Will you have been studying a lot when you take the exam? Very good, excellent, very good. Okay, so just to finish our session, for the exam, which is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we have the exam. Let me go to the platform. Let me check. Let me check if we have this homework available, which is called Futures. And it's a summarize, or is an exercise about the 3 futures that we have covered this past week, which is the future, the simple future, the future perfect, and the future perfect continuous. Just let me check. Just let me check. Oh, ya lo teníamos. ¿Están seguros que no habíamos visto este del future perfect continuous?
No, según
Okay.
yo recuerdo que no.
Use a future perfect.
Okay. Oh, okay. Bueno, anyways, we have for the exam, it will be related to, let me check the exam. Dun, dun, dun. It is tomorrow, and it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it will be closed at midday, right? A las 12 cierra, a las 12 del día cierra. And the questions that are coming in the exam are future perfect, are present perfect continuous, and the phrasal verbs. So do you remember these phrasal verbs that we cover or that you investigate on Big Riverman? Do you remember them? No?
Maybe no, I don't remember.
You don't recall anything from this class? So let me share, because it is coming on the exam. Don't look at the answers. Okay, so what's the meaning of give up?
¿Cómo rendirse?
Very good. It is stop doing something when it becomes difficult, right? So what's the meaning of cope with? No? Cope with. It is deal with a difficulty successfully, ¿no? Como cuando te enfrentas a algo y lo haces bien, ¿sí? That's when we say cope with, okay? What about keep up? When I say, you are doing excellent, keep it up.
To do something.
Hmm? To do something, yeah, to maintain or continue to do something, right? Cuando les digo, bien, manténlo así, okay, that's keep it up, okay? Set out. Set out, it's, for example, when you are planning a road trip, let's say you are going to Vallarta, right? And you are planning this road trip, and you make sure the car it's okay, the tires are okay, you have enough water, you have your luggage complete, you have money, etc. You set out, okay? You start the journey then, okay? So set out, it's to start a journey, right? Como emprender pues una travesía, un viaje, algo, right? And finally, take on, it's to decide to do something challenging, okay? So just to go, let's try to match or choose the best phrasal verb to complete the sentence. Christopher Columbus, give up, cope with, keep up, set out, or take on his first voyage across the Atlantic in 1492. Christopher Columbus, okay, let's discard. Okay, it is not give up because he didn't give up, right, on the voyage. He didn't, probably he deal with some difficulties, probably. So let's not discard this. Keep up couldn't be because keep up, it's like to continue, okay? And we are saying that his first voyage, so it's not keep up. Set out, start a journey, probably. Take on, to take a challenge, probably. So we have to start with the journey, to take a challenge, or to deal with difficulty. Christopher Columbus on his first voyage in 1492. What do you think? Start a journey, take a challenge, or deal with a difficulty? Okay, I'm going to answer the first one because otherwise we will run out of time. The first one is set out. Okay, he start the journey, or Christopher Columbus start the journey on his first voyage across the Atlantic in 1492. Él empezó, sí, empezó su primer viaje a través del Atlántico en 1492, right? So, empezar un viaje, set out. Okay, very good. So, number 2, I was finding my classes easy. Oh my God. So, I decide to something extra work. So, this is taken. I was finding my class easy, so I decided to give up something extra work, cope with, keep up,
maybe.
or take on. Cope with, deal with a difficulty. Deal with a difficulty, or maintain, or take a challenge. What does the rest of the class think? Make a guess. No?
Check on.
Take on, very good. Take on, right? It's like to take something challenging. Okay, so I decide to take on something extra work. Very good. She never considered, even when she was cold and hungry. So we have take on. This is taken. She never considered to give up, cope with, or keep up. Even when she was cold and hungry.
Keep up, teacher.
Keep up, to continue. She never considered to continue, even when she was cold and hungry. Hmm. She never considered to. Ella nunca consideró, aun cuando hacía frío y hambre. What do you think? Continuar, ella nunca consideró continuar aun cuando hacía frío y hambre. Ella nunca consideró deal with some difficulties, even aun cuando hacía frío y hambre. O ella nunca consideró rendirse aun cuando hacía frío y hambre.
Give up, teacher.
Very good. Give up, right? She never considered to rendirse, right? She never considered to give up, even when she was cold and hungry. How can I? My French during the holidays. I don't want to forget it.
Keep
How
up.
can I? I'm sorry?
Keep up.
Very good. Excellent. Keep up. Keep up. Mantener o continuar, right? How can I keep up my French during the holidays? I don't want to forget it. And finally, what's the most difficult problem you have had to cope with, right? To deal with, enfrentar, ¿no? ¿Cuál es la mayor dificultad con la que te has enfrentado? You have had to cope with. Okay, very good. So these phrasal verbs are on the exam. So it is very important for you to study them. Let me just check one thing. Let me just check. Okay, I'm going to anyway upload this presentation, the Big Riverman reading. Okay, voy a subir la presentación del Big Riverman para que también puedan estudiar de los phrasal verbs. Anyway, you have already investigated them. Ya los habían investigado porque fue una actividad del Big Riverman. Okay, so do you have any questions, problems, or anything to say about the first partial exam? No questions, no problems. Do you think you will pass the exam? ¿Creen que van a pasar el examen? ¿Creen que va a ser difícil?
Easy.
Easy, easy, breezy, piece of cake. Easy breezy. That was number 5. 5.1. And number 6 will be future perfect continuous. So right now in platform, future perfect continuous, here it is. It says 6.1, future perfect continuous. Okay. So on platform, you have already uploaded all of the presentations. It will be pretty easy. It is multiple choice questions, so you can choose from any of the options. Make sure that you read very well the question. Okay, lean muy bien la pregunta, porque ahí en la pregunta te va a decir, contesta con presente perfecto. Ok, y ya, sabes cómo hacer presente perfecto. O ten ahí la formulita, right? Contesta con future perfect. Y ya. Y a lo mejor viene ahí una opción de future perfect continuous, but no, do not choose perfect, okay? Future perfect continuous. Elige la que te pregunta ahí. A lo mejor le queda el futuro perfecto. Pero no, si te está preguntando sobre solo el futuro perfecto continuo, utiliza ese. Right? So, if you don't have any other question, I think we can dismiss the class. Or do you have any question?
No, any questions?
Okay, good. Very good. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you pass the exam tomorrow. And as soon as I have the grades, tan pronto como tengan las calificaciones, le aviso a nuestro concejal para que nos avise a todos. ¿Vale? Muchísimas gracias a todos por unirse. Que tengan un buen resto de semana. Nos vemos ya hasta la próxima semana. Bonito día.
Thanks, teacher.
Thanks,
Thank
teacher.
you.
Bye bye.
Gracias,
Bye.
bye.